Hey everyone, welcome to Anita's Joint, hashtag Extendajoint, where every day is payday, baby. It's your girl Anita flying high. I was brought back to like where I first kind of started my YouTube, right here. It was like this little post I used to sit up on right here and do my do my football commentary and some other videos. But I had made a video right here called "Save the Children," which got deleted from YouTube. Because I had talked about, remember we were getting all this information about, Pizzagate and child sex trafficking and child sex trafficking, and then I don't know if y'all heard about Hunter Biden and all these things. And I was like, I had made a video to just remind us, because like, if we can't come together to save the children, I mean, how do you think we're going to be able to come together if we don't even come together for the children? What makes you think we'll come together for anything else? Because children are innocent, right? You would think that we care enough for our children to actually speak out for them, right? And many do. It's just it's not that important when we think about it. We don't talk about it enough, or we don't put it to the forefront of how we base our reality, right? Because everything is it's not in our forefront. It's not something we've been taught to focus on, right? Children, and children will shape the future. The children that are growing up, that are witnessing everything that we're seeing as adults, are looking at us like, damn, like what the fuck? Like y'all, we were brought up in a time where adults don't know themselves, and they're dependent. They're looking at the younger generation, and the younger generation is looking at the older generation like, y'all are lost, and like, how could y'all lead us? How could y'all do this to us? Y'all just left us out to dry. You know what I'm saying? There's no guidance in the world. There's no leaders, and it's crazy, right? It's crazy. And I used to teach children sports, and so it was a great opportunity to be able to talk to the little ones, talk to young children, and just to see where they are, because their souls, they're powerful spirits too. They're more connected to the universe, to God, because they haven't been indoctrinated, they haven't been tainted yet. When it comes to us as older adults, as we get older, we start to experience things in our realities, and we get peer pressured or shaped by our reality based upon our current situations, our current circumstances, and the people that have brought us up. But I wanted to talk about this because of course I told you I was following Nate the lawyer, shout out to him, and a lot of other lawyer people, but specifically Nate. But Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial, Jesse Salmet is on trial, and I had just finished watching the Abradri case and the Kyle Rittenhouse case on Nate's channel, and it was like, it was making me realize some things. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. If you go on Google, you're like, who is the biggest? Because I'm into my cartel shows. I don't know why it's fucked up that we idolize cartel shows or shows of violence and killing. This reality that we have been cultured and developed in. Not mainly. I'm not saying all Americans, but in America, yeah, pretty much. That's just in our DNA, in our core, right? But I was watching, of course, Narcos Mexico. I love the show. Narcos Mexico, Narcos, anything that has to do with cartels or like mafias. And there's another good show. Power. I love Power. And also there's another one called Black Mafia Family. That's a good show too. But if you Google, like, who is the biggest cartel leader, and they say El Chapo, right? And so it had me interesting, because we don't, if we Google who's they were trafficking heroin, cocaine, stuff like that, and you would say who is the biggest human trafficker in the world, we would say Jeffrey Epstein and his partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And I'm like, that's very like interesting. That's like, well, it's interesting because it's like, okay, so now they have caught her, right? The FBI have caught her, right? And now she's on trial. So I'm just like, is she gonna get away with this? Like, I'm like, because it also reminds me, it's like, okay, everything happens in the spiritual realm, and it comes manifest down here, and it's taken. How long has it taken? They say Jeffrey Epstein's dead. That nigga probably ain't dead. I ain't seen nobody. He's the biggest human trafficker ever, yet that we didn't see a body. We ain't see a body that he dead. Just like Osama bin Laden. They say they gave us a body, but we ain't seen no body. They say he committed suicide in prison. Like, we ain't seen no body. You know what I mean? We ain't seen no body. And honestly, they'd be so protected up there in prison. It'd be crazy. I'd be like, how is this even true? I don't believe the guy's dead based upon anything, based upon this matrix reality that we live in, right? And so Ghislaine Maxwell, she's on trial, and it's gonna I gotta follow it a little bit more, but it's gonna be interesting to see like how she defends herself. Like, I'm like, well, what can you say? You were trafficking children, and guys, if you've known the most heinous crimes, think about Monsters Inc. and think about what they were doing to the children. Remember the adrenochrome? But and this is manifested in our reality, right? Ghislaine Maxwell probably took part of these rituals with children, but inhumane shit, right? Shit you just wouldn't do to children. Like, what the fuck? And they need that fear, right? The devil needs that fear. They need what the children have to be able to, I guess, become more powerful, right? But to become more powerful, and and so that's gonna be very interesting to see if she gets away with it, and then if she does, what are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna go after her? Like, nigga, it's your head. Is she gonna be bodyguard up? You know what I mean? How long is she gonna stay alive for? When I'm thinking about it, she's like, she could, and then how many? I want to know how many more names she's gonna drop. And honestly, we need to hear all the names she drops, because then if she's the head of the snake after Epstein's dead, who's after her, right? Because there's levels to it. Shit, there's levels to this. Someone had to know in higher ups that she was part of trafficking children all around the world. Someone had to know. And you think about the cartel shows that they show us. The politicians, of course, are in it. The politicians are in it. Even the presidents are in it. You know what I mean? So I'm really curious to see how, if we get the head of the snake, Maxwell, okay, so who's the next one to step up in this human trafficking? Because human trafficking is still gonna go on. Organ harvesting, the people selling each other's bodies. I mean, that's a $1 billion business, right? Because they eat us. You know what I mean? They eat us. These demons, right? So I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen after this? Because it ain't gonna stop. And so I'm just very curious. We ain't falling back to sleep on this shit. Okay, we ain't falling back to sleep on the children getting kidnapped and sold, and that's fucked up, right? And so, then Jesse Smollett, right? I'll get back to Maxwell, but I'm very gonna be interesting to see, because I mean, if the courts can't get her guilty, and honestly, she doesn't need, these people need to die. Really, they need to be obliterated from the universe, because this type of energy that they have brought down through as vessels for evil wicked forces, that virtue and principle that she has been possessed by these demons has to die. Like, we can't allow these type of energy to be free to walk around on our planet, right? That's unhealthy for us. You know what I'm saying? It's not healthy. It's not a healthy environment for our children, for fuck's sake. Not just you, us adults, for our children. Because they're not after you, they're after the children, right? So, yeah, that's on that. And then I was looking at the, Jesse Smollett, the guy from Glee, right? The guy from Glee. The guy from Empire, right? Yeah, I remember apparently he set up 2 guys to beat him up, right? Or something like that. I don't know why the fuck, like, who thinks about this shit? It was for attention, right? I think it was just for attention, right? I guess he said, I mean, honestly, yo, bro, like, of all things you could do with the power that you had, you go ahead and hit up, you create you create a hit on yourself to get fucked up. It's like, to get, really, like what was he thinking? Like, who was he possessed by? So it's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get some guys to come beat me up because I want some attention. Like, what the fuck? He could have had his house robbed. He could have had some other shit. stupidly planned out. So hopefully this nigga get found guilty as well. But I'm just like, what the fuck? But I think I'm just like, what? But also with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and the Barbie trial, I had actually watched those trials through Nate's channel. Those actually enlightened me a lot. Zachary K. Hubbard, shout out to Zach. He did the gematria on both trials, and both trials had a whole bunch of course, a gematria behind it, and certain dates and certain things. But Kyle Rittenhouse, he was found not guilty. And one thing I have learned, I ain't no lawyer, all right, but one thing that is said, it says you tell the truth, and hopefully the evidence is there to prove your innocence. And also, hopefully the evidence didn't get thrown away. Hopefully people haven't been possessed by demons to fuck you over. Hopefully the judge is in good standing. Hopefully there's no left right or right wing agenda to keep you behind bars, to make you an example. You know what I mean? Hopefully none of that shit stands. Hopefully none of that shit's in it, and it's a good trial. And but of course people were like mad that he got found innocent and mad that he was guilty. Found that he was found innocent and happy that he was found not guilty. And I was happy he was found not guilty because based upon the evidence that was presented to the case. Oh boy, when I was watching the trial, oh boy was like, he could have shot like a whole bunch more people. And one thing that stood out, he only shot people that were lunging at the guy. You know what I mean? That were coming after him. And in some of these shootout cases, because we just had another one, when these people are active shooters and they go shoot up children's hospitals and children's schools, they have no remorse. They shooting up everyone, and that's children. But Kyle Rittenhouse, he was a medical aid doing assistance, and he was being attacked, and people were coming after him, and he only shot at people that were coming after him. So that was another thing. And now Ahmaud Bantry, another brother, gunned down for allegedly the people that gunned him down thought he was stealing, so they gunned him down. And it was crazy too, the drama and twists and turns. Apparently the cops were after him, and they believed that he was armed, and they believed Ahmaud Bantry was armed, but he wasn't. But the cops really believed that he was armed, and I was like listening to the story. It's like, damn, this is a good story. Like, fuck, you kind of feel bad for the people that you kind of makes you sit back. I was like, shit, they really thought he was armed, and that he could have shot them, and they did fear for their life. But then again, they were trying to make a citizen's arrest, and they didn't see the crime actually being taken place. It was some deep shit. And I was like, damn, like this is I'm like, I was getting into it. I was like, well, this is not the shit we see on TV. This is real life shit. Someone died. And a lot of people died in these trials. Children were died in Maxwell's case. A whole bunch of children. Ahmaud Bantry and one victim, I forgot his name, had died. I think in the Kyle shooting. Yeah. I was just thinking, I'm like, all these trials are going on right now. I know the media's covering them, and I was just thinking, so what's going on in the heavens, in the realm that we can't see, right? So some verdicts are coming through because they're being manifested down here, and we are in judgment, even more judgment season as we continue to wake up and remember ourselves and continue to just be better people and ascend. And our karma is coming back at us, and even the karma for these evil forces, right? Their time is up, right? Their time is up because our vibes we're done. We've had enough. Our vibes are getting higher, and we want more for ourselves. We want more for our children. We want a peace. We want a better place for children to be able to walk around free without being kidnapped, sex trafficked, organ harvest, gunned down while running. Even if they did steal something, still gunned down by running. But these pedophiles are not gunned down while stealing children. So you know what I mean? If people were more aware of the pedophiles than people running down the streets, maybe we would have a safer place. Children wouldn't be kidnapped. You know what I'm saying? But that is how our reality has been constructed in certain ways, right? And this is just my point of view, right? And then we got Facebook coming out with, what is it, metaverse, you know what I'm saying, trying to continue to Facebook, watch it, put your face in a book, right? They say put your face in a book. Facebook watching you while you watch Facebook, right? I don't really be on Facebook that much anymore. Right now just on YouTube, really. But anyway, I still post, but I don't be on it like I used to be, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. I think some things. Of course, some things are happening. Things are happening. People are getting justice, I feel. And the 2 cases that I tuned into, I have to seek the truth. That's why I've set my intentions to seek the truth, to find the truth. What am I supposed to learn from this? How am I supposed to learn from this? What are we supposed to take from this? And there's so much to take from it, right? In this reality, and I always remember one of my tarot readers, she always says this is a really good school, and it's like everything we tune into is a school to learn from. Anybody's channel you tune into is a school to learn from. It's their school, it's their university they have created. You know what I mean? If it is cooking channels, if it's astrology channels, and we don't want to label them, but it's a school, because Earth is a school to learn from, right? For us to learn about ourselves through others, and also for us to learn about ourselves through meditation and tuning into who we are, right? And so we're learning so much about, of course, us as a civilization, us as people that walk the planet, and I think it's very eye-opening for me. You know what I mean? The awakening is happening. Got people still protesting all around the world for no green passports, no mandatory vaccines. You know what I'm saying? Censorship is still here. That shit ain't going away. So if you find the truth and you within you and express it, people that are meant to hear it are going to hear it. The people that are not, they're just going to skip over that shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And there was a song, J. Cole has that song. I forgot what it's called, but he's like, don't save us. You don't want to be saved. It is like that. You can't save nobody. All you can do is save yourself. But while you're saving yourself, you will save others, because it's just inevitable, right? It's just inevitable. People be like, oh yeah, the Matrix is burning, it's crashing, it's falling down, so you better get out the building, as they say. Don't go back into the building trying to we can still fix the shit. Nah, nigga, let that shit burn. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a new earth, right? It's time for a new earth with authenticity. People know who you are, where you stand. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing in between. Listen, this reality, what we live in, is beautiful because we can create it. But we got to get through. To get to heaven, you got to go through hell, right? And this reality that we have been living in is a hell, for sure, based upon the people that have been in charge, right? But I think, good things are coming. Good things are coming. We have we have one fugitive. I'm trying to think of some of the fugitives. I don't feel like people that sell cocaine and heroin and other stuff are as bad as people that sell children. I don't put them in the same category. People be like, nah, they're drugging the population and they're making people not know themselves, and that's just the same as the pharmaceutical company. They get away with it because they're backed by Walgreens and CVS and all these other people with their agendas to mind fuck us. But I think cocaine and heroin and all the other stuff, these cartels, they really just trying to, get in on the business as well. They just want to do it their way, you know what I mean? If you get in their way, you might get killed. But these politicians don't have no problem taking money from them, you know what I'm saying? Based upon what they show us on the TV shows. And we know it's happening because that's just how it is, right? They ain't no way the government don't know you're sending kilos and kilos of drugs across the border and when they find out, they want to know the organizations, right? They want to know who's the head and shit. The cartel shows be showing you some shit, right? So I'm like, damn, they know, right? They know. But I'm like, niggas, they know about this child sex trafficking, this human organ harvesting, right? So that's my thing. I feel like it's a choice for children. It's a different thing when people choose to do crack cocaine and heroin and methamphetamine and whatever other drugs people be doing nowadays, than to children getting snatched up and having their organs harvested. That's another thing, okay? That's two different things. Those two different boats. Yet we got more people in jail for selling cocaine and selling weed than we have pedophiles, right? Fuck, it's because that energy that the pedophilias and the sex traffickers and the organ harvesters, that business is booming. The business is always booming because, you know, there's quote unquote a lot of us here, right? And if we all die from crack cocaine and heroin overdose, you know, we can't organ harvest and sex traffic no more, can we? It's fucked up, y'all. It's fucked up, but that's just the reality. But that shit is coming to. We got one of the head of the snake. So I want to know where this is going to lead to with this Ghislaine Maxwell shit, because I know there's more, and hopefully she reveals some more. Now, hopefully she gets possessed and reveals some more names, because there has to be more. She's not just she had some teamwork make the dream work when it came to all this trafficking, and either they have taken a new identity, we don't get to see them, they're probably on in another country, and I want that country to know, you gonna harbor a trafficker? You gonna harbor a trafficker? Yo, he could, or she could. Oh, we looking at Maxwell, she like damn, I'm telling you, that divine feminine, bro, this woman, she, that's that evil divine feminine. Like, what the fuck? You not sent from God. You a devil. You a demon. You know what I mean? It's reality, bro. It's crazy. But, you know, with that toxicity, with that inhumane shit being put on to the face of reality, and we're being presented it, if you're tuning into it, if you're watching it, you know, we're gonna see where this leads humanity, because it's gonna help humanity even more wake up, because the things that will be revealed during this trial of. And you know, it is for our children of the future. Our children deserve to be in a space where they are free, and in a space where they're loved, a space where they can grow, and a space where they can learn, a space where they know that their mom or dad don't want to have sex with them, you know what I mean? And their uncles or aunties don't want to have sex with them, or their brothers and sisters don't want to have sex with them. You know, our children deserve spaces like that, because I would think it's natural. It's natural. But we don't live in a reality like that yet. We have sick motherfuckers here. And now they want to make that shit legal through different ways of loopity-loops and laws that they make with certain presidents and certain elections and certain laws, right? So just peep game. Protect your children always, because okay. So I was saying, protect your children always, because they deserve it and they need us. But that's really all I had to say. I want to say happy Venus Day to everyone. Shout out to the Soul Group. Shout out to you that's watching this video and that watched it through. Some deep shit, and something that we can just be aware of what's to come. Like I said, this is the Great Awakening, and we're going to continue to awaken. They can't stop it. It is what it is. But thank y'all once again for tuning in to Anita's Joint, #Extendajoint, where every day is payday, baby. I'm your girl, Anita, flying high, flying out of this third dimensional reality, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Deuces.